All right, first one say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Gakadash. And your devil honor apostles and great millstone from our Lord the truth. And I'll say Shalom to the full elect of Israel. And as you can see here, I'm going to send this video. Haven't really done one of the news article in a while, but send this video on this whole anti-Mo bill that's being passed in Uganda. And from like I haven't really been, really paying attention to the intricacies of what's been going on with this bill. I've been hearing, things here and there, just, skim through the article, but it's pretty much, it's simple, as you can see here, Ugandan lawmakers amend controversial anti-gay law, but a death penalty for HIV positive sex remains. And this has been something that's been going on for a little while, this whole anti Mo thing. But whether you people ain't, let me see. And from what I've been seeing in little clips here and there, you have a lot of Western regimes and political figures that don't like that this bill is being passed. They're calling them, I'm pretty sure they're calling them all types of shit. What homophobic, just little shit like that. But one of the brothers actually put a post of I think it was an article somewhere else, how it mentioned specifically the president said that he wanted to protect their morals and their virtues. And one of the things that lead to the rot and degradation, if I use that word correctly, of a nation is the the breaking down and the non-existence of morals and virtues. And you see America being a prime example of that. There's all types of consequences for and one of the things that the scriptures promotes, the law, statutes, and commandments, it goes into being, like it's moral, it's a moral, righteous, clean lifestyle. And when you go into this Moism thing, the Lord there's a scripture where it says how, I think I'm gonna get it if I can find it, a man being with man or a woman being a woman, or a man wearing women clothing and women wearing men clothing, and is an abomination. And abomination is something that's disgusting. And even when you see it now, it's like you look at them grown ass man putting on a dress and makeup, drag queen and whatnot, chopping off his shit, trying to, play Mr. Potato Head, take off a piece here and put on a piece there. The shit doesn't look normal. That's why there's a push to normalize it, because it was never normal. But this is a good thing. Whether, like, once again, a lot of Westerners are going to look at this as a bad thing, because you know what? Most of you Americans, you've been indoctrinated with Western dogma. And the word dogma means something that's widely believed, whether it's true or false. And a lot of you people, you live like there's a correct way to live and an incorrect way to live. Here in America, you have freedom and liberty and justice for all, freedom to do whatever it is that you want. But there is a wrong and there's a correct and incorrect way to live, whether you believe it or not. And the your daily lives your daily lives are proof of that. Whether it's dating or there's what's that, I don't know, psychologists or scientists, they talk a lot about there's these people in these like dating spaces and whatnot. They talk a lot about how women, because men can have multiple women, because we're built to handle it. But with women, they suffer they suffer more with the more partners that they have, sexual partners that they have, and then there's scientific, there's the scientific specifics of that, but they suffer because of that in a myriad of ways. um, your leaders, like poisoning the minds of your people, poisoning your food, your air, your children. You know, there we're going to the laws. There's a punt, like for example, let me see how I can put this. I'm not sure how it is anywhere else, but in Michigan, essentially, like I'm pretty sure this is a general thing, but uh, let's say someone breaks in your house. If you put like this, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the scriptures say that if somebody breaks in your house and you catch them, you can kill them. But here in America, I'm not sure if this is everywhere, but if you defend yourself, you can get in trouble too. You know, so like there are certain laws that's been twisted and that's been turned and and pretty much fucked up. And one of those things going to the morals, just like this whole sexual liberation, freedom to do whatever you want, have sex with whoever you want. And I mention that specifically because that's a very very like that's a very big fucking problem because all types of shit comes from that, as you clearly see. But once again, especially with our people, when our people, like the morals of our people, like one of the problems our people had was they hated, they hated the prophets. They hated the men who were sent to give them correction, and they even put them to death. They refused correction. They refused to be shown the right way. And as a result of that, our people revolted more and more, and now here we are. Same thing with you Americans. All of you hate being shown the right way. You hate being told what to do. When it's funny because the majority of you people, like especially our people, they hate to be told. They hate to be told what to do the most, but they're in most need of correction. And that goes for you Americans as well. And your life plays that out. You go around doing whatever it is that you want, and then you end up in a fucked up, twisted situation where if you receive correction and accepted it, you wouldn't be in that situation, or it'd be less of a burden on you. Just gonna skim through. Uganda's problem is passing an amended version of the controversial anti-Mo bill, 2023 on Tuesday. The new proposed bill, Mo conduct would still be illegal. Which, once again, that's how God made it. Although sex is pleasurable, like it's not just supposed to be like this fucking twisted fetish that a lot of people have. But identifying as Mo without conducting in Mo acts would not be outlawed. Bill, however, retained its more extreme elements, including the death penalty for aggravated Moism, which includes sex with a minor while having sex while HIV positive and incest. And when you go into disease, like for example, the whole HIV thing and how it affects most a lot more than it affects straight people. That's a punishment. Regular people, because like what Moism is a perversion, and the word perversion means a deviation from that which is normal. Two men together isn't normal. Everybody knows that. You see two men kissing, like you may have weirdos who try to force themselves to try to, like say, oh, it's a good thing, but in the back of your head, that shit ain't normal. Everybody knows, but they still try to do it. The bill, which originally proposed 20 years of imprisonment for even identifying as Mo, was returned to Parliament by Uganda's President Yoweri. I don't know if I pronounced that, in late April. Museveni asked lawmakers to reconsider and clarify certain aspects of the bill. Let me see. I'm just gonna skim through. But you have a lot of people that are unhappy with this, especially the Moes. Once again, That this is this is how life is supposed to be properly conducted. And a lot of you people want to keep doing the wrong thing until it turns out right. But the funny thing about that is none of this is turning out right. You're continuously being punished for the shit that you for the for your perversions, whether it's in sexuality, whether it's the money system, whether it's education. This bill still remains restrictive. It's not any better, says Richard Lucimbo. And once again, here in America, that's why America is referred to as Sodom and Egypt. It's two different places. Because obviously the Moism that goes on in Egypt because of the harsh bondage. Like what? It's bad to where you even have dudes who have women that go after that, who dress and drag in secret, and you even have some where the women's okay with it. That's not, whether you people want to believe it or not, that's not normal. It doesn't matter what you personally believe, because look at the state of your nation. America is a shithole. The only thing that it has is a few sparkly things, is military power and some money. That's it. You look at some of these social media influencers. I'm not sure. Well, I don't want to say that. I'm talking about the what's the dude's name? Tate. One of the things he said when he on one of his shows that he would never go back to America again. Because once again, America is a shithole. They have some technological advancements, but the morality of the people, the streets, filled with garbage. It's complete filth. It's complete spiritual filth. And you people love it. And you wonder why it is that all of you are suffering. It's because the longer you continue to do whatever you want versus doing what's right, you're going to continue to suffer. Because what you personally want isn't correct. And yes, there is a right and a wrong. Just like how you would get an answer wrong on the math test at school, your teacher would break down what the correct answer is, how to get the correct answer. You wouldn't buck up against your teacher. Just like when it comes to real life, you people are being told what's right and what's wrong, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just gonna get a couple of scriptures. Romans 1. No, let's see. It might have to start up. 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And what? Going into this whole how God isn't real. All these, these philosophies and all this shit. A lot of this shit, these niggas look like idiots. For example, to say God isn't real. You look stupid. And whatever, like, obviously when you have these science, every nation has their own, science where they prove things through however methods that they deem acceptable. And that's another thing. When you have a ruler of a nation or a society, they're going to rule based on their own means, how they see fit, how they see life should be run. Esau, case in point. You have a speed limit. Somebody breaks in the house. You'll get in trouble if you kill them or kick their ass. Somebody I know was actually in a situation similar to that, to where this person, they went to the police, you know, because there's a dispute, physical dispute. There's a dispute that led into it being physical, but person went to the police and they literally said that the authorities couldn't do anything unless this person actually hurt the person that went to the police. So, like, say you had that nigga, you know, come at him with a knife. The police couldn't do anything unless that knife was driven into that person. They actually saw a physical wound on them. Never mind the fact that, you know, it's clear that this person intended to do harm. You know, because obviously, like, somebody coming at you with a knife, you know, you got some type of form of self protection. It would make sense to get them before they get you. And that's that's a situation like what that person would get in trouble for self defense, which is complete bullshit. Similar in the case of somebody breaking your house and you put them in the grave. You know, they look you like that. That literally makes no sense. That you have to sit there and get your ass handed to you, like, and even if that's if you survive. And then, you know, they can do their work. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if it's like that everywhere, but where I live, you know, it's like that. And change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. See, like, what we know, what the flesh personally wants. The heart is deceitful above all else and desperately wicked. Not just wicked, but desperately wicked. You know, so it makes no sense to try to establish society based on what you personally believe is right and wrong, because you're gonna go wrong somewhere, as you see with America, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Let me see the word Romans 1:24. I'm curious what the word dishonor means, because when I read that word dishonor, I thought of all these fucking weirdos. Like, you see, I'm not sure if you've ever seen videos of that human dragon person, like these weirdos fucking injecting ink into their eyes and shit. But, you know, look completely shaving off their head and getting fucking horns implanted in this shit. This is madness. And this is what you get when you let a wicked ruler and his subjects run amok in the earth. You get madness. To dishonor, insult, treat with contempt, whether in word, deed, or thought. You know? And especially when you have a dude getting bent over a table and another dude having fun. Once again, doesn't matter how you look at it. If the shit isn't right. And there are people on this earth who are saying it's not right, and they're being looked at as, you know, people looking like, well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with this? That's how you know you people are fucking crazy. It says, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie. And America is filled and built and runs on lies. From your history to your laws, to the way you conduct your lives, to what you tell your children as they grow up. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And that's another thing you people do. You follow what the so-called white versus what God says. And a lot of you Christians say you believe in God when you really don't. I think it's somewhere in Jane. Maybe not. Where, but it mentions how oh, Yahweh Shai asked this: "If you love me, keep my." I think he said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." And when you go into the scriptures, love is the what is the keeping of the commandments. Not can you do it perfectly? No, but the Lord knows when you're bullshitting. He's not an idiot. He knows if you're trying or if you're just being a demon, which is what most of you people who call yourselves Christians do. You're fucking demons. And you may be able to trick yourselves, you may be able to trick your friends or your peers, but you can't trick the Lord. That's ultimately what matters. First cause Yahweh gave them up to vile affections for even their women, they changed natural use into that which is against nature. And a monkey could understand that. Butches, studs, lesbians. And yes, you're wrong. Your lifestyle is wrong. Doesn't matter what you personally believe. You're not capable of governing yourself. Humans on the earth aren't capable of governing themselves. What does it say here? It says, wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. Verse 26, for this cause Yahweh gave them up to vile affections. He let you, he said, okay, here, go ahead. Do whatever it is the fuck you want. And this is the result of people, human beings, doing whatever they want. This isn't correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not a favorable or choice situation. People are not happy. Everybody's suffering in some form or fashion. But what? There are things that led up to this suffering. There are choices that you people made that led up to this suffering. And it all stems from not following the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. Because if humanity stayed on that path, we wouldn't have to worry about fucking being taxed by a pedophile or all these damn articles going out about children missing. Or people bringing out certain classified documents and then magically going missing. Or for some odd ass reason, he decided to kill himself. Likewise, also the men, verse 27, living in natural use of the woman, burning in lust to one toward another. Men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which is meat. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh and knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Look up those words, reprobate and convenient. Like, these words I've looked up in the past, but it's always good to go back over it. Being the Mo is quite literally a pain in the ass. And the whole sodomy as a whole is a sin, because you have heterosexual people that commit sodomy as well. That doesn't they going off too. Said reprobate. Says unfit for, unproved. Like I said, I was just curious what the word meant. And what was the other word? Convenient. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. And these are all things that are disgusting. And these are things that permeates not only Babylon the Great, but the world as well. Covetousness. Haters of y'all. Majority of you people, especially Jake, hate the Most High because he doesn't, he's not going to take and tolerate their bullshit. Does he love his people? Yes, but he has a standard set for his people. He isn't going to tolerate bullshit. Is he merciful? Absolutely. But once again, he's not going to tolerate your bullshit. He knows when he's being bullshitted. And something I noticed with our people is they like to try to slither around. They try to slither around, what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. They try to bullshit. And like children, they get upset when they're not they're not able to do whatever it is that they want to do. Your parent is to serve as as a point of correction for you, to keep you from I want to say, I'm trying to find the word, but for lack of better words, to keep you from a fucked up situation, to guide you in the right direction. When you go into how especially these little nigglets nowadays, how they treat their parents, cursing them, fucking killing them, having them set up to be fucking killed. These little nigglets are to their parents is how Israel is to the Lord. Who, knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them to do them. And once again, in the back of everybody's head, they know if they're right or wrong. They may try to turn a blind eye to it. They may try to fight it, but everybody knows whether they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. You get that. You have the undeniable feeling. And there was actually this book. I forgot the name of it, but I think it was going into when Cristobal Colon came over here. There's an Edomite that wrote the book, and just roughly paraphrasing a quote of his, when that Edomite, when that Spaniard was slaughtering the Native American Indians, the guy who wrote the book pretty much said the shit that was done was inhuman. And I remember correctly, the guy was Edomite. It's like, once again, everybody they have that there's that feeling that you have in the back of your head and in your heart, whether you know what you're doing is fucked up or not. And I'll mention that because even that Edomite, he said, well, damn, this shit was inhuman with even his own people. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Edomite that they wrote the book and actually said that. Esau. But once again, most people try to fight it and just push that out the push that thought to the back of their mind and do whatever wickedness that they want to do. But you can't deny that feeling that you have. It's Leviticus 20:13. If man also loved mankind is loved of the woman, both of them have committed an abomination, something that's disgusting. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. And let me see here. There's quite a few laws where after the law it mentioned how so evil shall be put out of Israel. And evil goes into bad times. And if evil, if sin and evil is allowed to compound, it's going to eventually lead to what we have now. Very, very bad times. Verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. And I mention that because what? Adultery, it's a normal thing here in America. Bestiality. but that's something that goes on quite a bit. But 30 minutes, I didn't really make me for it to go that far. But uh, I read this, and this is going to be it. Verse 22: You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land where I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. And you shall not walk in the manners of the nation which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I said unto you, you shall hear. And that's another thing. Our people like to go after the ways of the other nations. Because all these things our people currently do, they're the ways of other nations. This isn't shit that we supposed to be doing. And the Lord hates the other nations. So once again, it makes no sense to sit there and copy somebody else that the Lord says he hates. But I've said unto you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I'm Lord Yahweh Shemashah, your power, which has separated you from other people. Where we're not, once again, we're not supposed to be doing the same thing as these other people. And I guess I did kind of get off point slightly about that. Uh, but just going to the whole, I found it interesting that the guy said that he wanted to preserve the morals and the virtues of his people, because he knows how, like, the guy's president. You can't be an idiot to run a country. He knows that the rot of morals eventually lead to a country's destruction. He didn't want his nation to look like America. Everybody knows America's fucked up. It has money. It has a few big houses. It got bitches walking around in tight sundresses and shit. But beyond that, everybody knows America's a fucked up nation. It's not an ideal nation to live in. People with morals and sense know that. A lot of you Americans love America. Why? Because you're already here. You've already been poisoned. It's like a pig wallowing in his own shit, you people. You love marinating in shit. But like I said, like Scripture said, there's a correct and incorrect way to live. I'm not gonna go on anymore. Hope is that fine. Say all praises, glory, and Jehovah, Bashim, Mashah, Bashim, God, Kudash, Tamas, Apostle, and teacher, great myself, by my truth. Shalom, so for wisdom, instruction, Babylon, great America.